Hey dog. He's probably turned his back on me. Arrogant dog. You don't, no, I mean, you should stay focused. You're a service dog, and you shouldn't get distracted by my amazing comedy. I mean, I understand it must be hard for you to not just fall about laughing with your big funny teeth. You just should stay, concentrate, face away from me, that's the way. It's all going above his head. Dogs are losers. Good. Now I've talked about the dog, I've forgotten what I'm doing. Oh yeah, okay. Good-o. Oh, see, now it's feeding back, Jessica. Sorry. Just split the difference. Yeah, hello. Oh, God, it has begun. Thank you so much. Didn't you bring me a present at the last gig? Didn't you get dragged up by security? Thank you, darling lady. You're very, very sweet. We can't get back into this, though. It's, well, we can. I mean, we can. It will just be a different type of show. Thank you. Can you please check that that's not anthrax, please? It's so varied. There's old people who look young and old people who look old. It's brilliant. Dogs. I can't say I don't appeal to a wide demographic. People, optimistic people with disabilities and people with presence and fucking dogs. Hello upstairs. You a couple? Are you happy? You happy? No, not you. It's your turn. It's not going to be easy. The person in the second row up there, second from the end, how are you doing? If I picked an introvert, what are the fucking odds? You're an unlikely couple. She's smiling a lot, and you're sort of like, you're doing the kind of... This might be alright. You alright? Yeah. Did you bring her or did she bring you? Or was it a mutual decision? Yeah, that's what I thought. She brought you. I hope you enjoy it, because I'm going to talk to her all night. Not in a nice way. So you're like 34. Jesus, past Jesus' age. Jesus got 33. You got a lot done. Nothing. Sat around being a stoner for ages, then 3 years, and then out. Amazing. Is that what your life's been like? Mostly bongs and then feverish activity to try to save your race? Just more just like having a job and going out with a sort of unintuitive partner. I'm trying to find my way into a bit here. I'm still lost, but we'll find it. It's going alright, it's alright. How long have you been together for? 6 years. And you're just partners, common law, de facto? Girlfriend, boyfriend. Married! Engaged. Married! Good, how's marriage? Sorry guys, we just talk about these people's marriage for a while. I'll check back in with you. It's alright, it's good. I'll tell you what she says. What's going on? It's good. How long have you been married for? Yeah, great. 2 years. They've been married for 2 years. And she juggles. Oh good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, she juggles. Which is important in any marriage, that one of you juggles. Honestly, I've seen a lot of marriages come and go, but the ones that stick usually have a juggler. Someone who loves Dungeons and Dragons. That's a recipe for a good marriage. So you were 28 when you got together. Yeah, you have a lot of partners before then. Yeah, heaps. I mean, jugglers get all the fucking action. I think back to my juggling friends at uni, they were holding off the women. Eventually they'd get 4 balls and it would just be a waterfall. Or men, depending on whether they're... I'd hate to have a heteronormative show. Because I'm het. want you to feel isolated by my incredibly boring experience of life. Because I lost my virginity to my wife. Don't you give me a pity clap, I'll fuck you up. It's not as sad as it sounds, actually. It's pretty fucking close. Should have juggled, should have done more juggling. I lost my virginity to in Perth, West Australia, when I was 17, to the woman I ended up marrying. And that's pretty special, you know. But it's amazing, and I hope you find this. You do continue to find new stuff, don't you? Like, so most of it good, hopefully. You don't want any dark secrets, but I'm surprised. I've been with my wife 23 years, and you're always like, wow, I didn't know that about her. And I had one of these amazing revelations recently, because my wife, first, background, quite distant background. My wife, this is an amazing story about my wife's family. My wife's maternal grandmother, her mum's mum, escaped out of Nazi-threatened Poland in the spring of 1939. So just as the Russians and the Germans were closing in on Poland, she was like one of the last people to get out of Poland. And when she escaped, she was 8 months pregnant with my wife's mother. Right, that's an incredible story. But that's not the new bit. I've known that all along. What I found out really recently, watching a science program on telly, is that female mammals, UMOB, are born with all their ova, all the eggs they're ever going to have, already on board, right? Like, well before you come out, you've got all the eggs you're going to have in your ovaries, like when you're still in, like, and the average is about 40,000. You got them all. Which means my wife, who's my age, escaped out of Nazi-threatened Poland in the spring of 1939. Hidden. With some 40,000 others inside the ovary of a negative 1 month old female mammal, who in turn was curled up, tucked inside the uterus, inside the distended belly of a petite 19-year-old Polish woman. And Anne Frank, fucking Anne Frank, she's all like, oh, it's so cramped. Honestly, kids these days. Too soon? It almost is. It's alright though, relax. I'm allowed to do Holocaust jokes. Some of my best friends are Nazis. Modern ones. Neo-Nazis. Nouveau Nazis. Okay, so look, the thing is, I mean, I'll sing it to you because you're there and Sarah, my wife, isn't. But this is a song I wrote for my wife, and because when you've been with someone this long, I mean, she's such a. I'm defined by her, you know. If you have any complaints, it's her fault. She made me. She made me like this. We made each other. It's curious, and so when you've got that sort of lifelong relationship, it's really. It's hard to imagine life without one another. So this is a song I wrote for my Sarah. It's called If I Didn't Have You. Yeah, didn't have you. If I didn't have you to hold me tight. If I didn't have you to lie with at night. If I didn't have you to share my sighs. To kiss me and dry my tears when I cry by the light. Really think that I would have somebody else. If I didn't have you, someone else would do. Your love is more than a million. You couldn't buy it at any price. But of the 9,999,000 of the possible love, statistically, some of them would be equally nice. You're lovely, but there must be be girls as lovely as you, and maybe more open to spanking or table tennis. I'm just saying, I really think that I would probably have somebody else. If I didn't have you, someone else would do. Someone else would try. If I were a rich man, little me, I guess I would be with a surgeon or a model or a Raleigh of the Royals or a Kennedy or an infomaniacal exhibitionist heiress to a large chain of hotels. If I were a rich man, maybe I would fiddle with the rich man girls. I'm not saying that I'd not love you if I were wealthy or handsome, but realistically there's lots of fish in the sea, and if I had a different rod I would conceivably land some. Even though I am fiscally consistently pitiable and considerably less Brad Pitt than Brad Pitiful, am I really so poor and ugly that you think only you could possibly love me? And I think I'd probably have somebody else. If I didn't have you, someone else would do. And look, I'm not undervaluing what we've got when I say that given the role chaos inevitably plays and the inherently flawed notion of fate it's abstruse to deduce I found my soulmate at the age of 17. It's just mathematically unlikely that at a university in Perth I happen to stumble on the one girl on earth specifically designed for me. And if I may conjecture a further objection, love has nothing to do with destined perfection. The connection is to strengthen the affection simply grows over time, like a flower or a mushroom or a guinea pig or a vine or a sponge or a bigotry or a fucking banana. And love is made more powerful by the ongoing drama of shared experience and the synergy of a kind of symbiotic empathy or something like that. So I trust it goes without saying that I would feel really very sad if tomorrow you were to fall off something high or catch something bad. But I'm just saying, I don't think you're special. I mean, I obviously think you're special, but you fall within a bell curve. I mean, I'm just saying, I think I'll probably have somebody else. I think you are unique and beautiful. You make me happy despite being around. But objectively, you would have to agree that maybe when I found you, options were relatively thin on the menu. You're lovely, but there must be girls as lovely as you. And this is the line I did too early that comes here about table tennis and spanking. I mean, I reckon it's pretty likely that if, for example, my first girlfriend Jackie hadn't dumped me after I kissed Winston's ex-girlfriend Nia at Steph's party back in 1993, enough variables would probably have been altered by the absence of that event to have meant the advent of a tangential narrative in which we don't meet. Which is to say, there exists a theoretical, hypothetical, parallel life where what is not as it is, and I'm not your husband and you are not my wife, and I am a stuntman living in Prague, married to a small blonde Portuguese skier who, when she's not training, does abstract painting, practices yoga and brews her own beer, and really likes making home movies and suffers neck-down alopecia. Just a little bit of isolated careless, but with all my heart and all my mind, I know one thing is true. I have just one life and just one love, and my love, that love is you. And if I didn't have you, darling, you, yeah, I think I would most definitely probably have somebody else. Okay, I don't do comedy anymore. Where are you going? I'm doing my best. There's so many words in it, and I run out of... Come back! Come on. I need you. How can you have... What? I haven't done my offensive stuff yet. How can you mistime your urine or be offended so far? I'm bored, they can be bored. So I don't really make comedy anymore, but I thought, I've got these fans who come to all my shows, and I haven't written for ages, so I'm just going to try out some new one-liners. And I dug off my computer today simply, and I'll play music under them, like Dimitri Martin. Paedophilia and ice cream van ownership. You know what I'm saying? Like your Tongva. Your fucking Tongva. Yeah? Yeah? Got some Tongans in the house. The Native American people from this area, from the LA Basin. 2,500 years ago, the Tongva, it's a drought. Let's say it's a drought in the LA Basin. Who would have fucking figured? And it's like 500 BC and it's a drought, and they're trying to raise their spirits. So one night they have a party and they're all dancing around, woo, doing the Native American. I didn't do a lot of research for this. This is somewhere in between anthropologically accurate and proper racist. Anyway. I'm usually worried about this sort of thing, but the odds on any Tongans in tonight are very slim because the Spanish killed them all. Most of them. And there's not really much chance of any Mexicans being here either because you fuckers drove them out. So there's a couple of different kind of genocides removed from me offending anyone. So it's happened a few times when a dual genocide is positive. So they're doing their dance and they have a good night and they go to sleep tired but happy. And they wake up next morning and the drought breaks and the rains come. And they draw a causal correlation between their dance and the coming of the rain. And so generation after generation after generation from that, the Tongva people do a rain dance when there's a drought. Huh? And confirmation bias means every time they do a dance and the rain comes, they notice the data, and every time they do a dance and it doesn't, they discard the data because it doesn't support their hypothesis. So like, more contemporary example, like someone here tonight, probably in the last week, being LA, got it, and because the flu's been going around, right, and someone probably had a sore throat, and one of you probably went to your healer. You went to your healer, you went and thought, what I need is a good bit of fucking Reiki. So you went and you did an hour, $500 Reiki, and the next morning you wake up and your throat's better. And you attribute the throat, you think that it's something to do with it. People are funny. Or like you've got a college basketball player, and it's his grand final the next day, and he prays on his knees the night before, please God, I want to contribute, I want to win. Please let us win our grand final. The next day, not only does their team win, but he scores the winning basket, and he thinks that God took the afternoon off that day from his usual occupation of systematically murdering African babies to make sure, swish on net, 2 points. You know what I'm getting at? You have to be very careful with ice cream van men. In America, there's a correlation between loving guns and loving Jesus. I don't think even Jesus would have a punchline for that. What is going on? My kid had a drill today, a lockdown drill. They had a lockdown drill today, booked, which they couldn't do because they weren't allowed to go to school because of a bomb threat. Oh, thank you for having me in your country. I really appreciate it. Good people are fucked. Donald will fix it. Donald will fix it. I should write his campaign song. There we go, we've got one Trump supporter. Trump supporter or small bladder? Hard to tell sometimes. Hard to tell from the back. It's always one or the other in life. Any person can be divided into that little binary system. Either someone with a small bladder or a Trump supporter. It's just nothing more dangerous than people who think they're smarter than they are. Clearly it's not, it's one of my songs. But it's actually quite an important song, and for this time of year I think it's a song sort of acknowledging, it's sort of my privilege, I guess, you know. It's called Confessions, and it's a song in 3 movements. And the first movement is entitled Feminism. I believe that women have the right to walk the streets at night without being afraid for their lives. And I believe that women have the right to choose what happens to their bodies without suffering the judgment of the conservative right. And I believe a woman has the right to wear the clothes she likes without being treated like dirt. And I think we men are pathetic, how we seem to use aesthetic as the measure of a woman's worth. I'm ashamed on behalf of my sex for making women feel like objects. Fuck, I love boobs though. I just really love them. Fuck, I love boobs though. I just wanna rub them. They're just so juby, they make me feel groovy. I would rather watch boobs than the new Star Wars movie. I just really love, yeah, boobs. Yeah, good shout out. The second movement is entitled Poverty, open bracket, altruism. Closed bracket. I believe that people are entitled to basic human rights, whether they are rich or they're poor. And I believe a world where no children are starving is a world worth fighting for. And I try to remind myself, even when I'm struggling, how incredibly lucky I am. And I don't think it's okay that the luxuries I crave should come at the expense of my fellow man. I'm sure I could do a little more to alleviate the suffering of the poor. Fuck, I love boobs though. I just really love them. Don't really mind if I am behind, below or above them. They're just so jubbly, they make me feel lovely. I would rather own a boob than a pout. Be-doo, be-doo, do-do-do-do. I just really love. Whoa. Yeah, boobs, yes. Yeah. This final movement is entitled The Environmentalism. The Environmentalism. I believe that the planet that we live in is a living organism, and we must treat her carefully. I don't think we can assume we can just go on consuming her resources indefinitely. The earth's not a bottomless tip, and we can all do our little bit. Just, I get to this point in this song and I think, why do we keep going? Why would you keep going? I mean, what's the fucking point? Like, what's the point? It doesn't go where you think it's going to go. It's all part of it. It's all part of it. Actually, you think you know where it's going to go, but what it does, it goes, fuck, I love boobs though. I just really care for them. They are equally fun when they're 21, or to says bosoms are buttock-like protrusions designed to tempt men in situations when we can't get a glimpse of girls' bums. I find such hypotheses dumb. It's like that one that says lipstick is for making your lips look more like the lips of a happy vagina. Since they said that, I can't look my great aunt in the eye. Now they have to say that, oh why? Jesus, why? From the first little suck of colostrum to the grope of the nurse in the old people's hostel, we're just fucking monkeys in shoes.